Welcome back to my studio. Today's video is going to be a continuation on how to set up your own digital fabrication space. I'm going to be looking mainly at the machine shop. Before we had digital fabrication, we had people making prototypes, one-of-a-kind objects, movie props, things like that. And they used the wood shop and the machine shop mainly. Today I'll talk about the machine shop. And whether it's a large lathe, or a small drill press, or even a hand drill, you're going to need some way to fabricate your objects. So let's take a closer look at these machines and what they can do. Let's take a look at my lathe. This is a 1939 Logan, branded as Montgomery Ward metal lathe. I primarily use it for aluminum, steel, brass, copper, nylon and plastics, and you can also use it for wood. Even though it's a metal lathe, you can still machine wood on this thing. I'm not going to go into an actual demo on this, what all the parts are, but I wanted to just kind of show you the machine so you had an idea what it is and to see if it suited your needs. This has a headstock that holds our material and it spins around, and then our tooling is located here and it moves from left to right, forward and backwards to carve away our material as it spins. Think about how like a baseball bat is made, or a baluster, or an axle or something. You can make these parts in 3D printed materials, but those tend to be weak. You might want to use metal and machine that little piece down instead of just using 3D printing all the time. This may be a little overboard for some people in a digital fabrication space. They have 3D printers, and they may want to focus on a CNC router or something. This is a medium-sized machine. I find I use it for a lot of metal objects, you know, handheld size things, 1 to 5 inches in length usually, maybe about 2 inches to a ½ inch in diameter. And you can get smaller jeweler, watchmaker lathes that are much smaller than this one. And it just really depends on your needs. I like to do some heavier duty stuff as well as light. So this medium-sized lathe works really well for me. A drill press is a must-have for almost any maker's studio. You need it through drilling through wood, metal, and even your 3D prints. This is a floor-standing drill press, maybe a little too much for most maker spaces, depending on what you have for real estate. I suggest a tabletop drill press, something between $50 to $150. Something light duty where you can drill through all the materials you'll need in your space. This is not going to be a demo. I just want to show you the actual drill press itself. A lot of them have these little lamps on them. This is something from around World War II, so mid-40s. And it is made for doing metal. It has a larger pulley on the top, so it can go slower if you have to cut through metal. Or you can speed it up to cutting through softer materials. You know, of course, you have your drill bit here and your piece that you're going to drill through. You have a table here, a metal table. A lot of people use a block of wood as well to protect the table, as a lot of people tend to drill into the metal. And as you extend it down, of course. We'll look at some smaller drill presses and some more readily available ones. I also suggest you look into storage of your drill bits. You can see over here I have these pull-out drawers, and they have them marked by the size of drill bits they are. They go from as small as 1/16 of an inch to as large as a ½ of an inch. These cabinets can get a little expensive. I suggest maybe a toolbox with shallow drawers such as the Kennedys. Something like this, used and beat up, can run you $50, $75, even $100. These brand new can run up to $300, $400, $500. I also have various other drill bits that I make with my 3D printing, and you can put little accessories in here and little various drivers, and also some larger drill bits that don't quite fit into here that I use in my drill press and also in my lathe. And whether you're looking at a larger one like this or a smaller one, the rules apply to most drill presses. If you've been given a demo on a desktop one, you'll be pretty familiar with the large and smaller specialized drill presses. This is my precision drill press. I use this mostly in jewelry making, where I need very accurate small little holes. I use it with pilots, and then I can also bore those holes out larger on the larger drill press I showed you before. If you can afford to have the space in your shop, or you just love to do machining and more metalworking and things like that, you need more accurate holes. I even use this on 3D prints. If you need that higher accuracy and precision, I strongly suggest you look into getting a precision drill press. If you're looking to just get started and set up one machine, again, I suggest a desktop drill press somewhere in between these two sizes that I've shown you. This is what I mean by a benchtop, desktop, tabletop drill press. Something kind of small but yet heavy duty. It has a larger chuck on it, but yet it's light enough and small enough that I can move it to a different space if I need to. It has a adjustable depth gauge, so I can drill consistently to the same depth time and again. Has a nice heavy duty large chuck on it that can go fairly small, probably about a 1/16 of an inch, and all the way up to a 1/2 of an inch. You can get larger and smaller chucks depending on your needs. Has an adjustable bed that goes, tilts to the right, tilts to the left. It also swivels left and right and goes up and down. It has a variety of holes that you can clamp things to, and it's a pretty heavy duty machine for being an inexpensive import. I strongly suggest you go with something like this, something manageable. I bought this for probably under $50 at a rummage sale or an estate sale. You can get them new probably for about $100 to $200. I suggest going with something used, something that feels solid. Go with your gut. Don't get something that's just rickety and you like it because it's older and it's a certain brand and you're nostalgic about it. This is a great little machine for the price. The bandsaw is one of those machines for me that is a must-have for my digital fabrication space. I use it in my machine shop, but it also gets used in my wood shop with digital fabrication all over the place. It's like my 3D printer. I don't really know where to put it in my space because it's such a versatile tool. Some people have never used a bandsaw and they don't have any need for one, and it really depends on your needs. It can be a messy tool. It can take up a lot of real estate on the floor. So it really depends upon your needs in your digital fabrication space if you need a bandsaw or not. They have larger ones. They have vertical ones like this one. They have horizontal bandsaws, tabletop, all sorts of different shapes, metal, wood, depending on your needs.